Hey everyone, Geeky here with more Longest Journey. Couple things. One, I messed with the sound again. Hopefully it's better. I've now cranked it all the way back up to where it originally was. And I think with me having turned the music and sound effects down, I think we're going to be where we want to be. Again, I apologize for any messing around you've had to do with your volume. It's completely my fault. Hopefully this is it. Because it still seems kind of low when I was watching the previous one. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. 2 and 3 are combined in the sense that you'll notice that we are not where we were when we last. Well, you might notice we're not where we were when we left off last episode. Which has to do with item number 3. So remember how I kept going on and on about how there being 3 different scenes, 3 different scenes coming up, 3 alternate scenes, 2, but really it was more like 2 because 2 of the 3 scenes are actually very, very similar. Yeah, that's a lie. I was not aware that was a lie, but that's a fucking lie. Apparently, there are 2 scenes, 2 very different scenes, and 2 very different scenes, and the 3rd scene that I would have sworn under pain of death, would have sworn was also in this game. It was a variation of one of the other scenes. Apparently I'm sorry, I'm still really fucked in the head about this, guys. Like, this is really fucking with me. Apparently it doesn't exist. It's all in my head. This slight variation, this 3rd scene that's a variation of one of the other scenes, it doesn't exist. It's not real. I remember everything vividly. I could even tell you exactly where the characters were and the difference between it and the other scene. But it is not real. It's all literally in my fucking head. It doesn't exist. And it's, oh my god, guys. I can't, I thought I'd done something wrong, and I went back and I replayed several scenes over and over and over again. We're trying to figure out the right combination. And eventually I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll just find a walkthrough. And I'm going through walkthrough after walkthrough, and the same thing keeps popping up. It's the ending to chapter 1. 2 endings, 2 endings, 2 endings. There's no 3rd ending. Literally, it was all in my head, and I'm so fucked up about it, guys. Like, I remember it so fucking vividly. It is completely fucked up that it's not there. Like, I find it completely unacceptable. The world's not bend to my wishes, but it's not. So I had to go way back to get the other ending. I think the less impressive ending. Maybe not less impressive. It's my least favorite of the 2 endings. So I wanted to do that one first and then move on to my favorite. But I had to go back and tell Stan that I would work tonight. And April even made herself a lovely little reminder. Just a tiny little reminder here, April Ryan. You're working tonight. Don't forget, big remember sign. Stan will kick your butt if you don't show up on time. So there. Apparently Sandra, that swell little girl I love so very, very much, she's out sick again. Like, cut back on on those raptures already. Or not. I don't mind getting her a paycheck. But yeah, so I'm really messed up about this, guys. But so we're gonna go watch the two scenes, and then we'll just continue on our way. Yeah, so I'm actually this is gonna get a little wonky, but I really, really like Fiona's description of what happens, which I don't believe you get if you go other ways. So there might be a bit of switching here and there. I don't know. I'll see what happens. Don't worry, I'll explain everything if I end up deciding to do it. Basically, my current thought is watch this ending, save the game, go watch the other ending, save the game, come back and get Fiona's description of what happens. And yeah, but it's just like the other ending, you're with Fiona, so she doesn't have to describe it to you. So she has a really good description that I think is really nice to hear. So I don't know.
I I'm all scrubbed and ready to work, sir.
You'll be on the floor tonight, honey. Start taking orders.
I'm so messed up, guys. I'm so messed up about this. Like, literally, I cannot believe that that's not a real ending. Chapter 2, Through the Looking Glass.
I've got to find Cortez and get him to explain what the hell's going on. Insane or not, he's the only person I can talk to about this.
So I did read the diary earlier, and it's the same no matter what. So we're going to save this real quick. And then we're going to go load up our original game. Whereas you remember we agreed not to work for Stan. We came in and we talked to Mickey, and she was fun. And now we're going to talk to Fiona.
Have you been sitting here all day?
Pretty much, darling. I feel like a vegetable. How was your day, then?
It's been a weird day.
How so?
Well, you know how some mornings you wake up, but you're not sure if you're really awake or if you're still just dreaming?
I feel like that every morning, darling. A pot of black coffee cures that in a flash.
That's how I've been feeling all day. Like I said, it's been a weird day. How's yours?
Exceedingly ordinary. Almost depressingly so. I poked my head out of the door once for about a second, but thought better of it.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Why, certainly, darling. About what?
What do you think of Cortez?
I'm not sure what you mean, darling.
Do you think he's a little creepy?
Oh, he's harmless. That old hippie's been drugged up for 50 years, and he's not likely to come down any time soon. Mickey likes him, but I'm not a big fan. But what can I do? He just sits outside the building, smoking or reading a book. He doesn't harm anyone.
How long has he been around?
Oh, I don't know. A year, maybe? He just showed up one day, and he hasn't left since.
He never leaves his spot?
He sleeps and eats, obviously. And sometimes he goes to some revival cinema uptown. Says that second to reading, old movies are his greatest passion.
What else?
What else can you tell me about Cortez?
One word I wouldn't use to describe him is lucid. He's always on about some bollocks idea, and you'd never know from listening to him that he's got any sense at all. People say he's quite sharp, though, quite intelligent, well-read, multilingual, and he's travelled all over the world, apparently, but still completely bonkers, if you ask me.
Thanks for your help, Fiona.
You're welcome, darling. Why don't you sit down and watch a movie with us, April?
You know what? That sounds like an excellent idea.
You're constantly getting in the way of poor Mickey's view of the TV. Just pick up the bowl, April. Pick up the bowl. The end. Chapter 2, Through the Looking Glass.
I've got to find Cortez and get him to explain what the...
I like that one a lot more than the other one. I mean, don't get me wrong, the other one's good too, but just the way the walls melt and tear and separate, so it's a forest all around them, but the furniture is still there, and I don't know, there's something fascinating to me about that imagery. Alright, let's go down and talk to Fiona. I want to see, because earlier I checked out what she said after the other ending, and I thought it was actually really beautiful, so I want to see what she says this time, and if it's pretty similar, we'll probably just continue on. If it's very different, I might go and reload the other save real quick to show you guys what she said, because it really is very beautiful. Alright, and I'm fairly certain there's nothing new, so I'm not going to waste our time by double checking.
It's our screen.
I like how before the TV was always on and now suddenly it's off. Like Fiona was like, fuck that noise, and flipped it off.
It's Fiona. Did your tongue stick to the window pane again, Fiona?
Please tell me last night was a dream, April.
I don't know what it was.
I wish there was an explanation. But both you and Mickey, we all saw the same thing, didn't we? Not a dream, not a hallucination, but what?
Weird things have been happening lately.
I have noticed. This isn't the first time.
What other weird things have happened lately?
Little things, like movement in the corner of your eye that's gone when you turn your head. And noises. The kind you're not supposed to hear in the city. Animal noises. Wild animals. And once, this was very early in the morning, mind, a few days ago, I looked down into the canal and saw what looked like an underwater city. But as I looked at it, it dissolved into ripples of water.
Scary.
You're telling me, darling? I'm scared of cockroaches, for God's sake. What do you think this does to my nerves?
I'm going to go ahead and ask this, and then I'm going to reload I'll save, and then we'll reload the other save real quick.
Have you seen Cortez today?
No, darling. I don't think he's around.
Do you have any idea where Cortez is?
Sorry, he could be anywhere. Well, he does enjoy going uptown to watch old movies in some revival cinema, but where that is, I wouldn't know.
Who'd know?
Perhaps Zach. He is, after all, the self-appointed film expert around here. You should talk to him, darling.
Great. Zach, my very best friend in the whole wide world. Could you tell Cortez I'm looking for him?
Certainly, darling, if I happen to see him.
Thanks. I have to get going.
Take care of yourself out there, darling.
Alright, so we're going to save right here. Then we're going to load up here. Yeah, you'll notice it whites out my exit things. It always whites out. Luckily, I can just type in Y or N. I don't know why it does it. I've just been ignoring it. Did I ever read the diary entry? Oh, I don't think I did. Okay, let's read it real quick. In Saturday, July 29th, 2209. In a few hundred years, when my great-grandchildren rummage through the attic and find this book, they're probably going to have a ball. I'm not even sure if I want to write about what happened last night, because chances are we'll never forget. Ever. And the future generations will likely be better off not knowing. But I'm sure now that whatever's going on, it's not just in my head. It's in everybody's head. Last night was proof positive of that, which begs the question, the things I've seen, my dreams, what's real and what's not. I'm afraid the only person who might be able to answer that question is Cortez. How's that for irony? that in order to prove to myself that I'm not going mad, I have to talk to the one person I'm sure is totally insane. What a great way to start the weekend. Alright, let's head downstairs, and we're going to get different dialogue. Actually, like I said, I think it's really beautiful dialogue from Fiona.
Anything interesting going on outside?
Did you ever question your own sanity, April? I mean, did you ever wonder if you were going mad?
I mean, this is what I would answer.
I'm quite certain I am insane.
I'm not trying to amuse you, April. I'm really serious.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I felt like that. Many times.
Then explain it to me. How do you deal with it? Do you lock it away inside yourself, or do you talk to someone about it? Because I'm at a loss here, April. I don't know what to do.
Okay, in real life, you hire a professional to help you talk about it, but in the game, I'm gonna go with this one.
You have to give me more to go on than that.
I don't know how I can put it into words. What I saw.
What did you see?
Last night, right here in this room, Mickey and we were watching a movie, a documentary about the new synthetic rainforests in Mexico. You know, the ones that produce 8 times the oxygen of the original organic forests.
I've heard about...
But I'm digressing. Anyway, about halfway through the movie, like I said, I'm probably going completely bonkers. This room became it was more like a vision, really, and I'm sure it wasn't holographic.
What kind of vision?
This room turned into a forest.
What?
It was like the forest came out of the screen and into the room, like being in the middle of a hollow theatre, but with added resolution, hallucinogenic effects, and smells. It only lasted for a few seconds, and then it all just disappeared.
Did anyone else see this?
Mickey did, but she refuses to speak of it. Says it was just our imagination acting up, which leaves me wondering how long it'll take before I end up in a mental institution.
I've been seeing strange things lately, too.
Like what?
Last night, at the cafe, right in front of everybody, this creature appeared out of thin air. Just like your forest. It was only there for a few seconds, and then it disappeared, but everybody saw it. Everybody.
Oh, my. What's going on, love? I don't scare easily, but this is really getting to me.
Don't know. But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure Cortez is involved.
Cortez? How is he involved?
I don't know that either. I'd love to find out, though.
Alright, I'm pretty sure this will be the exact same thing, but I'll click on it and we'll speed through it real fast.
What other
little things, like and noises, and one scared you?
Alright,
I have to take care of...
Alright, so, like I said, I really like that. I like that description, and honestly, I love Fiona, so any extra time we get with her is always amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and load back up to, I guess, our alpha game, our main game. But yeah, so those are the 2 different scenes you can get, not 3, no matter what I apparently misremember. Those are the 2 different scenes. And now, let's see. Okay, so this is what pops up after we ask if Fiona knows where Cortez might be. I made myself one solemn promise regarding this diary. On the day I first met him, I swore that Zach Lee would never, ever, ever be mentioned in this book. Ever. Whoops, well, promises are made to be broken, right? I just wish I didn't have to break this one. I mean, it's not because he's an asshole. He is, but that's not what bothers me. And it's not because he's constantly hitting on me either, because he lives right across the hall and every time I take a shower he just happens to wander into the bathroom, or because he's less mature than a spoiled 4-year-old and with the vocabulary and imagination of a 14-year-old. No, the thing about Zack that bothers me the most is that he's so smug about himself. He thinks he's the bomb, so to speak, and no matter what I say to discourage him, he doesn't get it. Asking him for help goes against everything I believe in. But apparently, if I want to find Cortez anytime soon, I don't have a choice. This is so humiliating. Alright, and so we're back in the one where we were in the forest with Fiona. Let's run. We're gonna run around and talk to some people. Just a little bit. Because it shouldn't take too long what I wanted to talk about.
I'm glad you're here. I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, me too. What's going on?
You go first.
You haven't heard anything about what happened here last night?
Not a word. Now you definitely got my attention. What happened?
Around 11 last night, I was working the bar and, well, I couldn't see how it started, but the music suddenly changed, and the place went dead quiet. I walked over to the far end of the bar. Something, it wasn't human, definitely not like any human I've ever seen, just appeared out of the thin air where the jukebox is, playing an instrument. At first, it didn't seem to notice anyone. Everyone stood there watching it, dead silent. Then it looked up, and then it just disappeared. Everyone was staring at the jukebox and then at each other. And then things just went back to normal. It was as if they all chose to block it out. It was scary, girl. I couldn't get the image of that creature out of my mind. And the look on its face. It was real, that's for sure. As real as you and me, but different. Now I want to hear your story, April. What happened?
This is gonna be hard to believe, but it's true, I swear to you.
Of course I'll believe you, girl.
Last night, I came home, and Mickey and Fiona were watching the screen, so I joined them. We watched a documentary about the rainforest, and...
What happened?
the room turned into a jungle.
Are you serious?
No, I'm lying to you. Of course I'm sure. I was there, Fiona was there, Mickey. We all saw the same thing, a jungle, but only for a split second. Then it was gone, just like that. And it wasn't like a hologram. It was more real than that. It smelled right. The air was thick and humid and it didn't feel synthetic like those shows they have. It felt real. The worst part was, it looked familiar. Like something from a dream. I recognized the place and I recognized the emotions I had being there.
From where?
Like I said, from dreams and from experiences I've had these past few days. Strange stuff, scary stuff, but I'd rather not talk about those experiences now.
I understand. Wow. Heavy.
It's amazing how similar our stories are. And it scares me because have you considered the possibility you've been drugged, Charlie? Or subjected to some holographic experiment?
You prefer that to the alternatives?
That we're going crazy? Or that there's actually something going on? Something we can't understand. You think those alternatives are better?
I can't tell you, April. All I know is the experience was as real to me as yours was to you.
Okay, just don't finish that. I don't know if I clicked something accidentally or if the writing just wasn't done correctly. I'm
Mind
not
if
sure.
I ask?
Wow.
Could I?
Yeah.
That's all I...
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
I don't know. Yeah, Emma's not in here. There's just some sketchy looking men. And this guy who apparently lives here. Alright, so I want to run and check real quick. I don't think there's any point to going here.
It's Emma's I'm way...
Because I think if I try to do this, she just says no. I just want to check before I start on my grand search for the...
Not today.
I got... For a grand search for Cortez. Alright, just double checking, making sure there's nothing extra. Alright, so those are the two different scenarios you can do. I don't know why I went this backwards way. And this is a good place to end, right before knocking on Zach's door, which I'm sure we're all very much looking forward to. And by that I mean, fuck no. We're not looking forward to it at all, and I'm pretty sure we'd all rather do anything else other than this. But we do what you gotta do. But that's where we're gonna end for now. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Sorry about the accidental lying. I'm especially sorry my brain lied to me, because that's kind of super rude. But it is what it is, and I hope you guys enjoyed the endings anyways. And I hope you enjoyed yourself and enjoyed listening to me lose my mind. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye.